The rain came down in sheets that night, blurring the taillights of the ambulance as it tore through the empty streets of Willow Creek, North Carolina. Harper Ellis gripped the steering wheel of her old pickup truck, her knuckles white against the worn leather, while thunder cracked like a judgment from the sky above. She had not planned to return to this place, not after the whispers that had chased her out like ghosts, but the call from the county hospital had been urgent. A pediatric emergency, a girl no older than 15, drowning in her own fever. Harper's boots hit the gravel outside the emergency room doors before the engine had fully died, her stethoscope swinging like a pendulum against her chest. The air smelled of wet earth and magnolia blossoms crushed underfoot, a scent that clawed at memories she had buried deep in the sterile halls of Boston's teaching hospitals. Inside, the fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets, illuminating the chaos of gurneys and beeping monitors. Nurses darted like shadows, their voices a low hum of controlled panic. "Dr. Ellis?" A young resident, his scrubs rumpled and eyes wide, spotted her first. "Thank God. It's Lily Hargrove, septic shock from a burst appendix. We've got her stabilized for now, but she's crashing fast. Family's in the waiting room." The name hit Harper like a slap from the past. Hargrove. Evelyn Hargrove's daughter. Evelyn, the queen bee of Willow Creek High, with her honey blonde hair and laughter sharp as broken glass. The girl who had orchestrated the hallway ambushes, the locker room chants, the fake invitations to parties that ended in locked doors and echoing jeers. "Dyke," they had hissed, the word of venom that seeped into Harper's bones even now 20 years later. She had been 16 then, awkward and aching with a secret love for the quiet girl in art class, her first crush crumbling under the weight of small-town scrutiny. Harper pushed through the swinging doors into the trauma bay, her mind snapping into the rhythm of crisis. Lily lay small and pale on the table, her dark curls matted with sweat, and 4 lines snaking into her arm like a lifeline to the world. Monitors wailed their discordant symphony, heart rate spiking, oxygen sats dipping into the red. Harper's hands moved on instinct, gloved fingers probing, assessing, commanding the team with a calm that belied the storm inside her. "Push another round of fluids," she ordered, her voice steady as the scalpel she requested next. "We're going in laparotomy now. Prep the oar." The incision was precise, a clean line through the inflamed tissue. Her stitches later praised for their artistry. Hours blurred into a haze of blood and beeps, but when the fever finally broke at dawn, Lily's chest rose and fell in even rhythm, her color returning like sunlight-piercing fog. Exhausted, Harper stripped off her gloves in the scrub sink, the water running pink down the drain. She caught her reflection in the mirror, green eyes shadowed, curls escaping her ponytail, and for a moment she saw the girl she had been. Scrawny, bookish Harper with the 2 big overalls and the habit of sketching wildflowers in the margins of her notebooks. The one who had fled to Duke on a full scholarship, then clawed her way through med school on grit and grants, emerging as a pediatric surgeon with a reputation for miracles. The one who had built a life in Boston, far from the humid embrace of the South, where love had come quietly, in the form of a soft-spoken librarian named Clara, only to shatter when Clara's cancer won its quiet war 3 years ago. She dried her hands and stepped into the hallway, where the Hargrove family waited like statues in the dim light. Evelyn rose first, her face a map of sleepless worry, lines etched deeper than Harper remembered. Behind her, a husband, broad-shouldered, unfamiliar, and 2 younger children clutching stuffed animals like talismans. Evelyn's eyes widened as recognition dawned, a flicker of something unreadable crossing her features. "Harper." Evelyn's voice was a whisper, hoarse from tears. "Harper Ellis? Is that you?" Harper nodded, forcing a professional smile that did not reach her eyes. "She's stable, Mrs. Hargrove. The surgery went well. You'll be able to see her soon." Evelyn's hand flew to her mouth, a sob escaping. "Oh God, thank you. I don't know what we would have done without." She trailed off, the weight of the moment pressing down. The others murmured their relief, but Evelyn stepped closer, her gaze searching Harper's face as if piecing together a puzzle long forgotten. "I never thought. After everything," Evelyn said softly, the words hanging like Spanish moss. "You saved her. My Lily." Harper's throat tightened. "Everything. The word encompassed lockers slammed on fingers, notes slipped into textbooks with slurs scrawled in pink ink. The night of the senior prom when Evelyn and her circle had cornered Harper in the parking lot, their laughter ringing out as they poured beer over her dress, the one she had sewn herself from thrift store fabric. Harper had run then, tears mixing with the rain, vowing never to look back. "It's my job," Harper replied, her tone even, a shield against the ache blooming in her chest. She turned to leave, but Evelyn's hand caught her arm, gentle, tentative. "Wait, please. Can we talk later? When things settle?" Harper hesitated, the corridor stretching endlessly behind her. The rain had stopped outside, leaving the world washed clean, but inside the wounds felt raw and reopened. She nodded once, curtly, and walked away, the echo of her footsteps marking the first crack in the wall she had built around her heart. In the days that followed, Willow Creek unfolded like a half-remembered dream, its rhythms both alien and achingly familiar. Harper had agreed to the locum position at the county hospital on a whim, a 6-month stint to cover a maternity leave, a chance to clear her head after Clara's empty apartment had become too much like a tomb. The town nestled in the Piedmont of North Carolina, where rolling hills gave way to pine thickets and the Neuse River wound lazy through fields of tobacco and sweetgrass. Porches sagged under the weight of wicker chairs and potted ferns, and Sunday services still echoed with gospel hymns that promised redemption. Her rental was a shotgun house on Elm Street, its walls papered in faded florals, the kitchen stocked with cast-iron skillets that whispered of grandmothers long gone. Mornings she brewed coffee strong as regret and drove her truck along back roads lined with black-eyed Susans, their golden faces turning toward the sun like supplicants. The hospital was a low brick building on the edge of town, its parking lot dotted with F-150s and Subarus alike, a microcosm of the lives it served. Lily's recovery was swift, a testament to young bones and Harper's skill. By week's end, the girl was sitting up, nibbling Jell-O and sketching fantastical creatures in a notebook. Dragons with wings of fire, their eyes fierce and kind. Harper checked on her daily, drawn by something she could not name, perhaps the echo of her own younger self in Lily's quiet defiance. "You're good at that," Harper said one afternoon, peering over Lily's shoulder as the girl shaded in scales with a colored pencil. Lily shrugged, a shy smile breaking through. "Mom says I get it from Dad. He used to draw before. Well, before he got sick." Her voice dipped, the unspoken hanging heavy. "Cancer," Harper guessed, the thief that stole so much. "And you?" Lily asked, bold in her youth. "What do you draw when you're not saving lives?" Harper chuckled, a sound rusty from disuse. "Wildflowers mostly. The ones that grow stubborn in the cracks." That evening, as Harper locked her office, Evelyn appeared in the doorway, holding a foil-wrapped casserole, green bean and ham, the scent wafting like a peace offering. "For you," she said, thrusting it forward. "Can't repay a miracle with words alone." Harper accepted it, the warmth seeping through the foil to her palms. They stood in awkward silence, the hum of the vending machine filling the gap. "I owe you an apology," Evelyn blurted finally, her eyes fixed on the linoleum floor. "For high school. For all of it. I was awful. Worse than awful. I see that now every day in my girls. Lily asked about you today. Said you're the kind of doctor who'd make a great mom someday." The words landed soft but piercing, stirring the hollow place Clara had left. Harper had dreamed of that once, children with Clara's dark hair and her own green eyes, a family pieced together from chosen threads. But dreams, like wildflowers, wilted under neglect. "It's the past," Harper said, though the lie tasted bitter. "We're not those girls anymore." Evelyn nodded, tears glistening. "But it shaped us. Me more than you, I think. I stayed here, married young, had kids. You became this." She gestured vaguely at Harper's white coat, the badge of her triumphs. They parted with a promise of coffee at the diner, a neutral ground where the past might loosen its grip. As Harper drove home, the casserole cooling on the passenger seat, the sky bruised purple with twilight. Fireflies danced along the roadside, their lights pulsing like heartbeats in the dark. For the first time in years, Harper felt the stirrings of something beyond survival. A fragile curiosity, a whisper of what forgiveness might taste like. But the past was not done with her yet. Whispers spread through Willow Creek like kudzu, vines of gossip twisting around potlucks and PTA meetings. Did you hear? Harper Ellis is back, the one who. The ellipses filled with old slurs, dusted off like attic relics. At the Piggly Wiggly, a former classmate, June Whitaker, now a realtor with a perm and a pantsuit, averted her eyes in the produce aisle, her cart squeaking away as if Harper carried contagion. It culminated one humid Tuesday at the hospital cafe, where Harper sat with her lunch tray, picking at a salad of field greens and pecans. Caroline Beaumont, née Voss, the ringleader's lieutenant, with her sharp chin and sharper tongue, approached, flanked by two others from the old crowd, their faces softened by time but eyes still appraising. "Harper," Caroline said, sliding into the seat uninvited, her smile all teeth. "Small world, huh? Saving Evelyn's kid, that's something. Bet it feels good playing hero after. Well, you know." The others tittered, a low ripple that set Harper's teeth on edge. She set down her fork, meeting Caroline's gaze with the steel she had forged in ORs and oncology wards. "It feels like doing my job, Caroline. What does yours feel like these days? Still chasing echoes?" Caroline's cheeks flushed, the barb landing true. She had married money, divorced it, and now sold insurance from a strip mall office, her life a series of what-ifs. "Touchy," she muttered, but the venom lacked its old bite. The women retreated, whispering as they went, leaving Harper alone with the bitter dregs of her tea. That night sleep evaded her. She wandered the rental's creaky floors, the cassette player in the living room whirring to life with an old mixtape. Clara's Doing full of Joni Mitchell and Fleetwood Mac, songs of tangled love and open roads. Harper sank onto the sofa, the fabric cool against her skin, and let the music wash over her. The lyrics curled like smoke. "You can never quit. You're gonna have to face it." Tears came then, hot and unbidden, for the girl she had been, for the love she had lost, for the town that had branded her and now called her back. Dawn found her on the porch, coffee mug in hand, watching mist rise from the river valley below. A cardinal perched on the railing, its red breast a slash of color against the graying wood. Harper reached for her sketchpad, forgotten in a box from the move, and drew, not wildflowers this time, but the bird's fierce gaze, its wings half unfurled as if poised for flight. The lines flowed steady, a release she had denied herself for too long. The next morning brought a new case. A toddler with a congenital heart defect, rushed in from a neighboring county. Harper scrubbed in, her focus laser-sharp, but as she closed the tiny chest with sutures fine as spider silk, a nurse murmured approval. "You're a natural here, document. Like you were meant for it." Meant for it. The words echoed as she emerged into the sunlight, blinking against the glare. Willow Creek stretched before her, its steeples and silos a patchwork of pain and possibility. She drove to the river that afternoon, parking her truck on a gravel overlook where willows trailed branches into the water like seeking fingers. The current murmured secrets, carrying leaves downstream in lazy eddies. There, skipping stones across the surface, flat skips that danced 7-8 times, Harper let the questions surface. Why return? Why now, when Boston waited with its anonymous streets and empty bed? The answer came not in words, but in the ripple of light on water, a promise of patterns reformed. Evelyn's call came as Harper traced the stone's arc back to her palm. Coffee? Today. The diner on Main, neutral ground indeed. Harper agreed, pocketing the stone like a talisman. As she walked inside later, the bell tinkling overhead, she spotted Evelyn in a corner booth, nursing a sweet tea, her posture straight but shoulders soft. They ordered black coffee for Harper, chamomile for Evelyn, and the conversation began haltingly, skirting the edges of then and now. "You look good," Evelyn said, stirring sugar she did not need. "Strong. I always knew you were smart, but this doctor thing, it's inspiring." Harper sipped, the bitterness grounding her. "Inspiring? That's a new one. Last I heard I was the town freak." Evelyn winced, the flinch visible. "I know. God, Harper, I replay it all the time. The pranks, the names. I was scared, you see. Scared of what I didn't understand, scared of standing out. My daddy was the preacher. and anything different was sin in his book. So I lashed out. At you. The admission hung raw and real. Harper traced the rim of her mug, the ceramic warm under her thumb. It wasn't just names, Evelyn. It was isolation. The day you all locked me in the chem lab after hours? I missed the bus, walked 5 miles home in the dark. Mama asked why I was crying and I lied, said I fell. Evelyn's eyes brimmed. I remember. I drove by once, saw you on the shoulder, head down. Wanted to stop, but... She shook her head. Cowardice. They sat with that, the diner's hum a buffer. Forks clinking, orders called in drawls thick as molasses. Outside, a dogwood bloomed defiant against the brick wall, petals pale as hope. And now? Harper asked finally. Lily. Your life. Does it make up for it? Evelyn smiled, sad and true. Nothing makes up. But it teaches. Lily's got questions about who she is, who she loves. I tell her it's okay to be different. Because of you, maybe. Seeing you now. The words cracked something in Harper. A fissure letting light in. They parted with a hug, awkward, then real, Evelyn's arms strong around her, scented with lavender soap. Driving home, Harper felt lighter, the stone in her pocket a reminder. Skips on water, not sinks to the bottom. But fractures deepened before they healed. The following week, Caroline's whispers bore fruit. An anonymous note slipped under Harper's door. Go back to Boston, freak. We don't need your kind saving our kids. The paper crinkled in her fist, ink smudged like old blood. She burned it in the sink that night, watching flames lick the edges, the smoke curling toward the ceiling fan. Clara's voice echoed in her mind. Don't let them dim you, love. You're a lantern, not a moth. Harper had laughed then, in their Beacon Hill apartment with its bay windows overlooking gaslit streets. Now alone, she mourned the loss anew. The quiet evenings reading poetry, Clara's fingers tracing sonnets on her skin, the way love had felt like home until the chemo drained it away. Sleep came fitful, dreams tangled with locker room echoes and/or lights. She woke to a text from an unknown number. Coffee? Not at the diner. Somewhere quiet. Riley. Riley Thorne. Harper knew the name vaguely. Art teacher at the high school, new to town 2 years back, with a reputation for murals that transformed drab walls into stories. They had crossed paths once at Lily's discharge, Riley there as a family friend, her auburn hair tied back, eyes like polished amber catching Harper's in a moment of shared relief. Intrigued, Harper replied yes, suggesting the river overlook. They met at noon, the sun high and forgiving, Riley arriving on a bicycle with a basket of sketchbooks. She was 32, Harper learned over shared sandwiches, peanut butter and fig preserves, a southern quirk Riley swore by. Born in Portland, Maine but drawn south by a grant for community art, Riley spoke with a lilt that blended Yankee crispness with adopted drawl. You're the talk of the town, Riley said, unwrapping her lunch, her jeans grass-stained from morning weeding. The doctor who came back. Hero or villain depending on who you ask. Harper laughed, genuine this time, the sound surprising her. Bit of both, I suppose. What's your stake in the drama? Riley's gaze softened, tracing the river's bend. Friend of the family. Evelyn's my sister's wife's cousin or something convoluted like that. But mostly I'm here because Willow Creek needs color. And you? You look like someone who's seen enough gray. They talked then, easy as the current, about Portland's foggy coasts, Harper's Boston winters, the wildflowers Riley painted into her lesson plans. Harper found herself sketching in the dirt with a stick, a simple bloom, while Riley watched with quiet intensity. You're an artist, Riley observed, not a question. Was. Maybe again. Harper dusted her hands, the earth cool and yielding. As the afternoon waned, Riley packed her basket, but paused. There's a bluegrass jam tonight at the old mill. Come. No pressure. Just music and fireflies. Harper hesitated, the note's ashes still bitter on her tongue. But Riley's smile was an invitation, not a demand. A door cracked open to light. Maybe, she said, and meant it. The mill loomed on the river's edge, its will long stilled but frame draped in fairy lights for the gathering. Fiddles wailed and banjos plucked under a canopy of stars. Locals clustered on blankets with coolers of sweet tea and beer. Harper arrived late, her truck's headlights cutting the dusk, and spotted Riley by the water, strumming a guitar with a circle of kids, their faces lit by lantern glow. Riley waved her over, handing her a mason jar of lemonade. "Glad you came." The music swelled, a lament of lost love turning to jig, and Harper let it pull her in, feet tapping despite herself. They danced later, clumsy and free, Riley's hand warm in hers, the spin of skirts and laughter blurring the edges of old scars. As the fireflies rose like living stars, Harper felt the first true thaw, a spark in the chest, fragile but fierce. Riley leaned close amid the crowd, breath soft against her ear. "Stay for the encore?" Harper nodded, the word yes forming on her lips like a prayer. The bluegrass faded into embers that night, but the warmth lingered in Harper's veins like a half-remembered dream. She drove home with windows down, the night air thick with jasmine and the river's earthy breath, Riley's laughter echoing in her ears. Sleep came easier then, wrapped in sheets that smelled faintly of the mill's wood smoke, dreams weaving fiddles into the steady beep of monitors. Morning brought routine, rounds at the hospital, where Lily Hargrove waved from her now empty bed, a get-well bear tucked under her arm. "Draw me something fierce," the girl had teased, and Harper obliged later that week with a dragon etched on hospital stationery, its wings arched protectively. Evelyn watched from the doorway, her gratitude a quiet shadow. But the note's echo persisted, a thorn under skin. At the pharmacy counter, filling scripts for a diabetic patient, June Whitaker sidled up, her realtor badge glinting under fluorescence. "Heard about that letter," she murmured, voice pitched low. "Caroline's doing, no doubt. She's bitter. Divorce hit hard, kids acting out. But you're stirring things up coming back like this." Harper scanned the bottles, her expression neutral. "Stirring pots isn't my specialty, June. Healing is." June nodded, almost apologetic. "Fair. Just watch your back. Old habits die hard here." The warning settled like humidity, heavy and inescapable. Harper canceled her evening plans, a solo hike along the tobacco trails, and instead pored over case files in her office, the lamplight pooling yellow on charts of tiny hearts and lungs. Clara had called this her armor phase, the retreat into work when emotions threatened breach. "You're not a machine, Harp," she would say, tugging her toward the Charles River for stone skipping under Cambridge bridges. "Let the water carry it." Now alone, Harper traced a finger along a photo clipped to a folder. Lily's pre-op smile, gap-toothed and trusting. Saving her had been instinct, but facing Evelyn, facing the town, felt like walking a frayed tightrope over abyss. Riley texted as thunder rumbled distant. "Rainy night read? I've got pie and poetry." Attached was a photo of a windowsill cluttered with Mary Oliver volumes, rain streaking the glass like tears. Harper replied before doubt could intervene. "Address." Riley's bungalow crouched on the town's outskirts, a cottage of clabbered and climbing roses, porch swing creaking in the breeze. She answered the door in overalls dusted with flour, auburn curls escaping a bandana, her smile lighting the gloom. "Apple cranberry. Family recipe, minus the Maine lobster." Inside smelled of cinnamon and old books, shelves groaning with art folios and novels dog-eared at passages of longing. They ate at a scarred oak table, forks clinking soft, conversation meandering from pie crust lattices to the symbolism of thorns in fairy tales. "You're guarded," Riley observed midway, wiping crumbs from her lip. "Not cold, just careful. Like a painting under varnish." Harper paused, fork hovering. "High school here was. Varnish remover. Stripped me bare." Riley leaned forward, elbows on wood. "Tell me, if you want. Or don't. But I'm listening." The words spilled then, halting at first, then steady. The art class crush on quiet Eliza May. The stolen glances that bloomed into a fumbling kiss behind the bleachers, interrupted by Evelyn's gang. The slurs that followed, the isolation that turned lunch hours into library exiles. "I thought leaving would fix it," Harper said, voice raw. "Boston med school, Clara. But grief. It circles back." Riley's hand covered hers, thumb tracing a knuckle. "Grief's a river, not a road. It wins. And Clara sounds like she was your North Star." "She was." Harper's eyes stung, but she held Riley's gaze. Amber warm as heathfire. Still is, in ways. They cleared plates in companionable quiet, rain pattering on the tin roof like applause. Riley pulled a volume from the shelf, Oliver's American Primitive, and read aloud by lamplight. You do not have to be good. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Her voice wrapped the words like silk, and when she closed the book, the silence thrummed with possibility. Stay? Riley asked, simple as that. Not a demand but an open palm. Harper nodded and they curled on the sofa, Riley's head on her shoulder, the storm outside mirroring the one easing within. No grand gestures, just shared breath, fingers laced, the slow rebuild of trust. Dawn crept in with birdsong, finding them asleep entwined, the world softer at its edges. But Willow Creek's undercurrents pulled stronger. Midweek, another emergency. A car wreck on Highway 17, 2 teens ejected, one with a splenic laceration that demanded Harper's hands in the oar. She stabilized the boy, son of a local mechanic, face smeared with blood but pulse holding, while the team intubated his sister, her ribs cracked like kindling. Post-op in the recovery lounge, the father gripped Harper's arm, tears carving tracks through grease-streaked cheeks. You're a godsend, document. My babies. I can't lose them. It's the job, she murmured, but his gratitude lingered. A bomb against the note's sting. Word spread as it did in towns like this. Harper Ellis, the returnee, pulling miracles from mangled metal. At the next town council meeting, Harper there for a health fair booth. Folks nodded her way, some with warmth, others with wary glances. Caroline lurked at the periphery, nursing a styrofoam cup, her eyes narrowed. Later, as Harper packed flyers on hypertension and vaccines, Caroline approached, solo this time, her posture less armored. Heard about the wreck. Good work. Harper straightened, meeting the gaze level. Thanks. Kids are tough. Caroline shifted, boots scuffing the gym floor. Look, that note. Wasn't smart. I was pissed about my ex, about life handing me scraps. You waltzing in all successful. It poked old sores. Old sores poke back, Harper said, folding a pamphlet precisely. But kids like Lily, like those teens, they don't deserve the fallout. Caroline's laugh was bitter, short. Yeah. My boy's 13 now, questioning everything. Makes me see. I was the bully because I was scared. Of me, maybe. The admission echoed Evelyn's, a thread in the unraveling tapestry. Harper nodded, no absolution offered, but the air cleared fractionally. Scared's human. Doesn't make it right. They parted neutral, Caroline melting into the crowd. Harper lingered, watching families mill, parents her age, children with futures unscarred. Riley found her there, slipping an arm around her waist. Proud of you, she whispered, lips brushing temple. That night they walked the river path, fireflies scripting the dark with Morse code. Riley stopped at a willow, plucking a frond, twirling it like a promise. You're blooming here, Harper. Roots and all. Harper pulled her close, the kiss tentative then deepening, tasting of river mist and possibility. With you? Maybe. But dawn brought shadows anew. A call at 4 a.m. Lily Hargrove readmitted with complications, a secondary infection raging through her lines. Harper flew to the hospital, gowning in the dim pre-op, her mind a whirlwind of differentials and doses. Evelyn waited in the hall, face ashen, husband at her side murmuring prayers. She's burning up again, Evelyn choked. Harper, please. In the bay, Lily thrashed weakly, delirium twisting her features. Harper's team swarmed, cultures drawn, antibiotics pushed broad spectrum. But the girl's vitals plummeted, sepsis clawing back its claim. Hours stretched, a battle of IVs and vents, Harper's voice the anchor. Fight, Lily. You've got a dragon to ride. By noon the tide turned, fever cresting, then ebbing, Lily's hand squeezing Harper's in fleeting lucidity. Thanks, document. For the fierce. Exhaustion hit like a wave as Harper debriefed the team, her scrubs sweat-soaked. Evelyn enveloped her in a hug outside the room, sobs muffled against shoulder. You saved her twice. We don't deserve it. Harper held her, the weight shared. Deserve's not the point. Love is. Riley arrived later, bearing coffee and clean clothes, her presence a steadying force. They sat in the cafeteria, Harper recounting the night's siege, Riley listening with artist's eyes, seeing the unseen strokes of courage and fear. "You're carrying this town," Riley said softly, "but let me carry you sometimes." Harper leaned into her, the contact electric yet soothing. "Deal." As summer deepened, so did they. Picnics under dogwoods, where Riley sketched Harper's profile against bark, capturing the curve of jaw and quiet strength. Evenings on Riley's porch, guitars strummed to covers of Indigo Girls, voices harmonizing on lines of hidden hearts. Harper's sketches multiplied. Riley's hands on clay forming vessels from earth, the river at flood carving new paths. Yet the fracture lines widened. Caroline's ex-husband, deep in cups at the roadhouse, cornered Harper one Friday, slurring slurs from 2 decades past, fist raised in drunken rage. "Think you're better now? Saving brats don't erase what you are." Riley, there for wings and whiskey, stepped between, her voice steel-wrapped calm. "Back off, sir. Or the sheriff hears about assault on a doctor." He slunk away, muttering, but the encounter left bruises, invisible on skin, vivid in spirit. Harper drove Riley home in silence, the cab thick with unsaid. At the bungalow, Riley brewed chamomile, drawing Harper to the bath. Steaming tub scented with eucalyptus, candles flickering like guardians. "Wash it off," she urged, soaping Harper's back with gentle circles. "Not you. Him. Them." Under water's grace, Harper unraveled, tears mingling with suds. "I came back to heal others. Forgot myself." Riley knelt by the tub, water dripping from fingers to floor. "Then heal with me. We're the medicine." Their love unfolded slow, a sonnet in stanzas. Mornings tangled in sheets, coffee shared black and bold. Afternoons at the high school, Harper guest lecturing on anatomy through art, Riley's classes alive with her insights. Lily, discharged again, joined a session, her dragon inked large on poster board, symbol of survival. Evelyn hosted a barbecue, tentative olive branch, backyard strung with lights, tables groaning under pulled pork and coleslaw. Harper arrived wary, Riley's hand in hers a tether. Caroline was there, subdued, offering a plate with mumbled truce. "For the kids," she said, nodding to Lily chasing fireflies with her siblings. Conversations flowed halting. Regrets aired like laundry on lines, laughter tentative but growing. June shared stories of her own hidden doubts in youth, a closet cracked but never fully opened. Evelyn raised a glass to second chances to daughter's whole. As night fell, Harper and Riley slipped away to the hammock, swaying gentle, stars pricking the canopy. "This could be home," Riley murmured, head on Harper's chest. Harper kissed her crown, the heartbeat beneath her ear a rhythm of renewal. "It is." But healing's path twisted yet. A letter arrived mid-autumn, Boston Hospital, offering permanent position, the siren call of city lights and legacy. Harper stared at it over breakfast, Riley's sketchpad open to a half-formed portrait of them both intertwined. "Go if it calls," Riley said, voice steady though eyes shadowed. "I'll visit. Portland to Boston's just a flight." Harper folded the paper, setting it aside. "It calls. But softer now. Here. This calls louder." Winter whispered in with frost on pumpkins, the town blanketing in quiet. Harper accepted the locum extension, committing to spring. Her hands busied with flu seasons and fractures. Riley's grant renewed, murals blooming on abandoned barns. Scenes of women in wild landscapes, fierce and free. One December eve, snow rare and fleeting dusted the river, turning willows to lace. They walked it bundled, breaths clouding, Riley pausing to press a small box into Harper's glove. Inside a pendant, 2 wildflowers entwined, silver vines binding petals. "For the cracks," Riley said. "Beauty in the breaks." Harper fastened it, drawing Riley close, their kiss sealing vows unspoken. Back home, in the glow of tree lights strung haphazard, they danced to carols on vinyl, slow turns that spoke of futures sketched together. Clara visited in dreams that night, not as ghost but guide, her smile approving. "Lantern, remember? Shine on." Harper woke smiling, Riley's warmth beside her, the world outside crisp and clear. Spring unfurled in Willow Creek like a long-held breath released. Azaleas exploding in pinks and whites along fences. The river swelling with meltwater that carried winter's detritus downstream. Harper's days settled into a cadence she had not known she craved. Morning rounds where Lily, now a volunteer candy striper, trailed her with questions sharp as scalpels. Afternoons consulting on Riley's murals, blending medical precision with artistic flourish, veins mapped as rivers, hearts as blooming cores. The pendant rested against her collarbone, a constant talisman, its weight a reminder of roots taking hold. Yet understanding deepened only through friction, like polishing stone to reveal its gleam. Evelyn invited Harper to a Hargrove family dinner. Thanksgiving redux, sans turkey, with cornbread dressing and pecan pie baked from orchard nuts. The table groaned under platters, children giggling over games of charades, Evelyn's husband Tom carving ham with steady hand. "Your family now," Evelyn said, passing the greens, her eyes earnest, "whether you like it or not." Harper smiled, fork pausing mid-air. "Careful. I might hold you to that." Conversation turned to high school ghosts over coffee, steam rising like confessions. Tom, outsider from Raleigh, listened wide-eyed as Evelyn recounted the chem lab lock-in, her voice threading shame with sorrow. "I called Mama that night, told her I was at Sarah's. Lied to cover my own mess." Lily, perched on stool, piped up. "Mom's different now. She lets me be me. Cuts my hair short, buys me those books on girls who kiss girls." Evelyn flushed, but pride edged her nod. "Takes one to teach one, I guess. Seeing you, Harper, strong hull, it rewires things." The words bridged chasms, Evelyn's hand finding Harper's across the cloth, a clasp of equals. Later, washing dishes side by side, suds bubbling, Evelyn whispered, "Forgive me? Not for me, for us." Harper dried a plate, the ceramic smooth. "Forgiving's a process. But yeah, starting now." Outside, Riley waited on the porch, swinging lazy, a thermos of mulled cider shared under harvest moon. "Good?" she asked, pouring. "Healing," Harper replied, sipping spice and warmth. "Like us." Their nights wove deeper tapestries. Riley teaching Harper pottery, hands guided over wet clay, the wheels hum a heartbeat syncing theirs. Forms rose imperfect, bowls warped, vases leaning, but beautiful in flaw, fired in kiln to endure. Harper reciprocated with dissections of sonnets, reading a Cummings by firelight. "I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart." Love manifested in quiet sacraments. Notes tucked into lunch sacks. Walks where fingers brushed accidental on purpose, becoming deliberate. Riley's touch ignited no frenzy but a steady burn. Lips on collarbones tracing pendant's path. Bodies aligning like puzzle edges, whispers of want met with reverence. Yet forgiveness demanded confrontation. Caroline reached out via text, terse typed, "Talk? Neutral ground. Mill." Harper showed Riley doubt clouding. "Trap or truce?" "Truce," Riley affirmed. "You've earned it." They met at dusk, the mill's will groaning phantom turns in breeze, fire pit crackling low. Caroline arrived alone, thermos in hand, decoff, she clarified. "No more hiding in bottles." She poked sticks into embers, sparks rising like released regrets. "I owe you," she began, voice gravel from disuse. "Not just for the rec kids, though that too. For high school." I was Evelyn's echo, amplifying ugly because it made me feel big. My own stuff. Daddy's belt for sissy tears, Mama's silence. I dumped it on you. Harper sat cross-legged on log, flames dancing in her eyes. It landed heavy. Shaped me, made me run, build walls. Clara helped dismantle some, but here. It's the full demo. Caroline nodded, shadows carving her face. Saw you with Riley. Real. Makes my charades look cheap. Marriages for show, now solo with cats and regrets. She paused, poking Ash. My boy Ethan, he's like you were. Quiet, drawing mermaids. Kids tease. I shut it down now, tell him it's brave. Because of you. The vulnerability cracked Harper's reserve. Braves learned. Keep teaching it. They sat then, silence companionable, stars wheeling overhead. Caroline rose first, offering hand. Friends? Or at least not foes. Harper clasped it firm. Start with coffee. Work up. Driving home, Harper recounted to Riley over late-night tea, the mill's smoke still clinging to her sweater. It's not erasure. Just space. Riley pulled her onto lap, arms encircling. Space for this. Kiss deepened, hands roaming maps of known terrain. Bodies yielding to rhythm honed by trust. In afterglow, tangled sheets, Riley traced Harper's scar. The old one from prom night's fall. Story. Slippery pavement, hasty escape. Harper smiled dry. Now? It's just mark of moving on. Spring's thaw mirrored inner shifts, town fair. Where Harper manned a booth on wellness, Riley's murals backdrop vibrant. Locals lingered, June with her wife, out since Pride last year. Tom with fishing tales, even the mechanic toasting the wreck survivors now skateboarding sans casts. Lily gifted Harper a drawing. Dragon guarding 2 wildflowers, 1 auburn tressed. For you and Miss Thorne. Evelyn watched misty. She's right. Guardians. But understanding bloomed bittersweet. Boston's offer resurfaced in email counter with perks. Research lead salary bump. Harper shared with Riley over river picnic. Sandwiches soggy from drizzle. Prestige, Riley mused, feeding Harper a grape. But heart. Here. Harper's certainty anchored. With you the Hargroves, even Caroline's cats. Riley laughed, juice-staining lips. Then decline. Plant deeper. The letter sent, rejection polite but final, freed something. Wings clipped no more but chosen ground. Harper's sketches evolved. Not solitary blooms but gardens interwoven. Riley's formed central, clay-strong. Mid-May, crisis revisited. Ethan's schoolyard fall, concussion brewing storm. Harper consulted her touch gentle on the boy's brow. Caroline hovering anxious. He's tough, Harper assured CT Clear. Like his sketches. Caroline exhaled, gripping rail. Thanks. Means. Everything. Outside, waiting families, Evelyn with Lily, June waving. Formed loose circle. Chatter turning to support group whispers. A new chapter for Willow Creek LGBTQ allies. Riley's brainchild. First meeting next week. You're the spark, Evelyn told Harper, hug fierce. We get it now, thanks to you. Forgiveness crested that eve. Full moon silvering the bungalow. Riley led Harper to garden, newly tilled bed waiting. Plant with me. They knelt, earth cool, seeds of moonflowers dropped, night bloomers, symbols of hidden light. Hands soiled, Riley kissed Harper's knuckles. For the dark parts. They opened too. Love followed indoors, candlelit. Bodies hymn of hip and hollow, gasps prayers of presence. I choose you, Harper breathed, pendant cool between breasts. Every bloom. Riley's response. Arch and affirmation, dawn finding them sated, soil under nails like vows etched. Summer solstice brought culmination. Ally groups launch, community center aglow with lanterns, tables laden potluck, deviled eggs, bourbon balls. Harper spoke brief, voice steady on scars to strengths, drawing nods, tears. Caroline shared next, halting. I was the laugher. Now, listener. Evelyn closed. To daughters saved. And mothers mending. Riley's arm around Harper's waist, the room's warmth collective. Understanding forged in fire's remnants. Outside, moonflowers unfurled, pale petals glowing soft. In bed later, Riley's fingers in Harper's curls. Proud. Harper turned, lips finding pulse. Whole. Summer's zenith baked Willow Creek in gold. Fields waving sorghum under relentless sun. The river a ribbon of cool reprieve where locals picnicked on sandy banks. Harper's life wove seamless now. Hospital shifts blending with home. Her truck's bed loaded Fridays with easels for Riley's outdoor classes. Laughter of students mingling with banjo strums from distant porches. The Ally group met bi-weekly. A sanctuary of folding chairs and herbal teas. Stories unfurling like vines. June recounted her coming out at 40, wife's hand steady in hers. A young teacher, non-binary and new, shared pronouns practiced in mirrors. Harper listened mostly, her contributions measured. Lessons from Boston's Pride parades. Clara's quiet activism in library nooks. Riley facilitated with grace, her prompts gentle. What mends us? One evening, post-meeting, Evelyn lingered. Lily at her side sketching agenda margins. Harper a favor? Family council unofficial. They walked the center's garden, fireflies scripting dusk. Tom and I were fraying. Not dramatic, just drift. He wants more kids, I want this advocacy growth. Lily's my anchor, but... Harper nodded, wildflowers brushing knees. Talk it through. No shame in change. Evelyn's smile trembled. Like you and Riley. You're reborn. The word landed true. Harper's rebirth, a quiet revolution. Sketches filling journals, not margins. Nights where touch erased old echoes. Riley's body a geography of grace. Curves mapped by moonlight, breath sinking like tides. Yet renewal demanded shedding. Boston's shadow lingered in dreams, sterile halls, Clara's empty chair at conferences. Harper woke sweating one dawn, pendant clutched, Riley stirring. Ghosts. Old paths. Harper confessed over eggs, skillet hissing. Wonder if I chose right. Riley set fork down, eyes amber earnest. Choice isn't once. It's daily. Today, paint with me. They drove to an abandoned silo, Riley's canvas site, ladders propped against rust. Harper mixed pigments, ochre earth, cobalt sky, while Riley blocked forms, women rising from fields, arms outstretched to sun. Brush in hand, Harper added strokes. Delicate veins in leaves, subtle scars on skin, her surgeon's precision lending life. You're in it, Riley said, stepping back, turpentine sharp. The central figure. See. Fierce bloom. Harper traced the lines, her form emergent. Curls wild, eyes forward, wildflowers at feet entwined with another's roots. Tears pricked. Us. Afternoon waned in creation, bodies paint-flecked. Kisses tasting of linseed. This is right, Harper murmured against Riley's neck, conviction blooming. Town life rippled with rebirths. Lily's art show at school, dragons guarding diverse figures, girls hand in hand, boys with rainbows. Harper attended, Evelyn beaming beside, Tom's arm around her though lines etched deeper. Counsel helped, Evelyn whispered. We're pausing on kids. Focusing here. Caroline's contribution. A donation check, scrawled for the mermaids. Her boy Ethan joined a session, drawing bold under Riley's eye, teasing silence by peers' cheers. Harper's own renewal crested in or serendipity. A neonatal case, preemie with imperforate anus, tiny life teetering. Hours of precision, colostomy sighted, bowel reconnected, left her drained, gloved hands trembling post-closure. In lounge, coffee bitter, she sketched the infant's hand, curled fierce around her finger. Riley met her after Riverside, basket of figs and cheese. Tell me. Fragile. Fierce. Harper fed her a slice, juice dripping. Like us starting. Riley's laugh bubbled. We're sturdy now. Roots deep. Picnics multiplied. Under oaks where acorns crunched, Riley reading Thoreau aloud. I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately. Harper countering with Whitman. I am large, I contain multitudes. Debates dissolved to dalliance, blankets rumpled. Hands exploring sun-warmed skin. Love a languid affirmation. Mid-July, heat wave broke in storm. Thunder rolling like applause. Rain sheeting the bungalow windows. They made love through it, lightning framing silhouettes, bodies arch. Harper arching into Riley's palms, gasps lost in roar. After wrapped in quilts, Riley traced Harper's spine. Stay forever? Testing me. Harper teased, but heart swelled. Yes. Here. You. The word sealed, renewal's arc bending toward permanence. Harper approached the hospital admin, intent to stay, pediatric lead if offered. Willow's my woods, she explained, application crisp. Admin's nod. Knew it. Town needs you. News spread gentle. Evelyn's toast at group. To Dr. Ellis, our deliberate liver. Laughter rippled, Caroline's included, her cats now joined by a girlfriend. Shy Potter from Raleigh, hands clay-strong like Riley's. Harper's art evolved. Series of diptychs before and after. Wounded figures mending into holes, wildflowers central. Riley's influence in fluid lines. One sold at local gallery. Evelyn's purchase hung above Lily's bed. August brought harvest. Tomato vines heavy, shared with neighbors in bushel trades. Harper and Riley canned in steamy kitchen. Jars sealing pops of promise. Peach preserves gold as pendants. For winters, Riley said, lid twisting tight. And springs, Harper added, kiss ceiling sweeter. Crisis-tempered joy. Tom's firm hand slipped, early prostate caught routine. Harper consulted, her touch familiar, plan mapped calm. Prognosis good. We'll fight smart. Evelyn's vigil in waiting room. Lily sketching dragons protective. You're doing, she told Harper post-biopsy. Routine check from your fair. Renewal circled. Group session themed shedding. Stories of divorces embraced, identities claimed. Harper shared Clara. Love's legacy, not loss. She taught deliberate living. Riley embodies it. Riley's eyes shone, hands squeezing under table. Equinox neared, days balancing light and dark. They hiked Appalachian foothills, backpacks light, trail winding through rhododendron tunnels. Summit view. Valleys quilted gold and green, river threading silver. Perspective, Riley breathed back to Harper's chest. Purpose. Harper's arms encircled, pendant pressing shared skin. Love crested wordless, on blanket spread, breeze whispering, bodies union of earth and sky. Renewal's peak in union's grace. Descent brought resolve. Bungalow talks of expansion. Murphy bed for guests, studio shed for art. Ours, Riley affirmed, blueprints sketched napkin quick. Harper's yes. Build. Fall whispered in. Leaves turning crimson confession. Hospital promoted her. Chief of Peds, clinic expansion funded. Celebration at mill. Fiddles wailing, pies piled, toasts to Harper's harvest. Lily danced with Ethan, dragons forgotten in youth's whirl. Evelyn pulled Harper aside. Tom's clear. Thank you for all. Forgiven, Harper said, full now, no process left. Caroline toasted next. To the girl we laughed at. Who laughed last, kindly. Laughter rose, healing's chorus. Riley drew Harper to dance, steps syncopated, bodies close. Renewal not end but endless bloom. In quiet after porch swing creaking, Harper whispered. Reborn. With you. Riley's kiss. Always. Autumn's palette deepened Willow Creek's hollows. Hickory gold and maple flame licking hillsides. The air crisp with cider presses and leaf smoke. Harper's promotion settled like frost. New office with window overlooking the river. Desk cluttered with sketches and stethoscopes. A harmony of callings. Mornings she and Riley lingered over oatmeal studded with apples from the orchard. Conversations threading futures. Perhaps a joint workshop. Art meets anatomy for teens like Lily and Ethan. The group thrived, now monthly potlucks under strung bulbs. Stories evolving from wounds to wonders. June's wife led a session on allyship, her voice steady. Love's not possession, it's witness. Harper absorbed, her witness to Riley a daily devotion. Coffee runs with stolen kisses at the counter. Trail runs where breath synced to pounding feet. Evenings clang vessels. Bowls for shared soups, mugs for morning rites. Renewal's momentum built in layers. Harper's clinic initiative, free screenings in church basements. Drawing the wary. Farmhands with coughs unspoken. Elders with hearts heavy. One old Mr. Voss, Caroline's father, irony sharp, sat gruff through EKG muttering. Didn't raise no fool but life's long. Long enough for changes, Harper replied, printout in hand. His nod grudging but follow-up call confirmed. Meds working. Tell that Potter girl. Nice mug. Word looped back via Caroline. Coffee truce upgraded to walks. Her with girlfriend Delia, Harper solo or with Riley, paths meandering river talk of mending. Daddy's thawing, Caroline admitted, leaves crunching. You're doing. Times, Harper corrected. And choice. Delia's laugh light. Like us. Chose late but deep. Winter's cuss brought gestation. Riley's pregnancy announcement. No, not blood but project. Community mural on hospital wall. Birthing stories of survival in tile and paint. Harper co-conceived. Themes of rebirth. Preemies to elders, wildflowers threading narratives. Planning sessions in bungalow, floor-strewn sketches, wine-loosening lines. Central, the guardian, Riley proposed, finger-tracing Harper's form anew. Us, Harper echoed, palette shared. Hues blending intimate. Love deep and domestic. Riley's head in lap during storms. Harper reading aloud from dog-eared Plath. Dying is an art like everything else, turning to kisses that dispelled dark. Bodies' dialogues evolved, slower now exploratory, hands learning new languages of linger, lips mapping freckles like constellations. Thanksgiving gathered expanded kin. Hargrove's table extended, Tom carving turkey with vigor renewed. Lily's place card for Aunt Harper. Evelyn's grace. For seconds on everything. Laughter flowed freer. Ethan's mermaids drawn beside dragons. Caroline's Delia passing yams with wink. Post-feast walk, Harper and Riley strayed to orchard. Trees barren but promising. Seeds sleep, Riley mused, glove to bark. Awake soon. Harper pulled her close. Kiss lingering, chill chased by warmth. December dusted first snow. Rare lace over evergreens. Hospital hummed holiday. Carols piped soft, trees twinkling in lobbies. Harper's rounds included festive ghosts. Clara's favorite, "Oh come all ye faithful," stirring nostalgia softened by Riley's text. Home soon? Cocoa waits. Evenings built traditions. Tree trimming with ornaments hand-fired. Stars for Clara, dragons for Lily, wildflowers for them. Riley hung the pendant's twin silver glint. Balance. New Year's Eve mill jam swelled. Full moon fiddles fevered. They danced till midnight, Riley's twirl ending in arms. Countdown's cheer ceiling. To rebirths. Kiss under fireworks, Harper whispered. My year you. January thawed slow, resolutions rooted. Harper's journal, daily gratitudes. Riley's laugh, Evelyn's texts, Caroline's waves. Clinic thrived, numbers up, grants flowing for youth mental health, art therapy wing, Riley leading. One consult. Teen runaway, bruises hidden, story spilling. Family rejection for girlfriend's hand held. Harper listened, then connected to group. Riley waiting outside with sketchpad. Draw your safe, she urged later, teen's lines fierce phoenix. Harper watched, heart full. Your magic. Riley's grin. Team. Valentine's crafted intimate. No florist roses but wildflower pressings framed. Dinner clay baked in their kiln. Potatoes crisp, hearts tender. Bed followed, candles guttering, bodies Valentine. Harper's mouth on Riley's thigh. Tracing vows in breath, renewal's fire unquenched. Spring equinox heralded bloom. Mural groundbreaking, community shovels turning earth. Lily wielded first, dirt flying, dragon banner aloft. Evelyn's speech. From pain to palette, thanks Harper Riley. Work commenced weekends, hands blistered but bonded. Harper grouting tiles of healing hands. Riley pigmenting skies hopeful. Progress mirrored inner. Old scars faint, new strengths etched. Crisis tempered. Preemie relapse. Harper's hands steadying tiny frame through code. Team chanting life back. Post-lounge collapse, Riley there, arms open. You did. We. Harper clung, renewal and release. Tears cathartic, not defeat. Evelyn visited next day. Lily's drawing in hand, Phoenix cradling preemie. For the wall. Harper pinned it central, glue firm. Summer solstice circled back. Mural unveiling, dusk ceremony, lights tracing forms, women, children, lovers linked in wildflower chains. Speeches short. Tom's on second chances, Caroline's on late blooms, June's on witnesses. Riley's close. Rebirth isn't solo, it's shared soil. Harper pulled her on stage, pendant twins glinting. To us all. Cheers rose, fireflies applauding. Love's renewal communal. After river walk, hands laced. Full circle, Harper breathed. Riley's head on shoulder. And spiraling up. Light's triumph lingered through solstice's afterglow. Willow Creek bathed in endless twilights where days stretched like arms embracing. The mural stood sentinel on hospital facade. Tiles catching sun in mosaic of mercy. Figures emergent from shadow, wildflowers veining every form. A testament to collective rebirth. Harper traced it mornings en route to shifts, her truck idling brief, pendant warm against skin as if Riley's heartbeat echoed there. Life's rhythm pulse fuller. Clinic's youth wing ribbon cut. Rooms awash in Riley's murals. Walls whispering you are enough in swirls of blue and green. Sessions filled. Teens like the runaway now mentoring, her Phoenix tattoo peeking from sleeve. Harper co-facilitated. Stethoscope swapped for stories. her voice bridging body and soul. Evelyn enrolled in nursing aid course. Time to give back, she declared over coffee, Lily beaming. Mom's gonna save someone someday. Tom supported, their marriage reforged deliberate. Date nights at the mill, hands held public. Caroline's evolution bloomed bold. Delia moved in, cat seated half the bed. Joint pottery business launched from garage kiln. Late starters, Caroline joked at group, but eyes shone. Better than never. Harper's art found voice. Gallery show announced, cracks and blooms. Diptychs of fracture to flourish, Riley co-curated. Opening night loomed September, nerves aflutter low, but Riley's hand steadied. Your truth. They'll see. Love's light wove daily miracles. Dawn yoga on porch, Riley's form bending graceful, Harper mirroring breaths unified. Market halls, peaches fuzzy corn silk sweet. Transformed to feasts, tables set for 2 or 10 kin expanding. Nights baths drawn steamy, eucalyptus curling, bodies submerged in union. Harper's fingers in Riley's hair, suds sliding, whispers of stay answered in sighs. August heat peaked in festival. County fair booths bursting, funnel cakes sugared, Ferris wheel creaking skyward. Harper judged pie contest, Riley's cranberry apple taking blue, Evelyn's green second. Lily and Ethan manned art stall, dragons and mermaids sold swift, proceeds to wing. Mid-ride atop wheels apex, town sprawled patchwork below. River gleaming, hills humped gentle. Riley's arms circled. Our view. Harper turned, kiss salt sweet. Our light. September's show opened under harvest moon. Gallery aglow, white walls stark against canvas's depth. Crowd swelled. Evelyn with Tom and girls, Caroline and Delia clay-handed. June's wife snapping photos. Even Mr. Voss shuffling in, cane tapping approval. Purdy. He grunted at a wildflower piece but lingered. Riley's toast. To Harper, seeing beauty in breaks. Sales trickled but resonance lingered. Lily bought a dragon diptych, hanging bedroom guardian. Post-reception bungalow debrief over wine. Success, Harper exhaled, head on Riley's lap. Beginning, Riley countered, fingers combing curls. October chilled gentle. Leaves carpeting paths in crunch symphony. Hospital's fall drive. Flu shots in pumpkin patches. Harper's booth festooned scarecrows stethoscoped. Riley sketched attendees, caricatures capturing essences. Evelyn's determined gaze. Caroline's wry smile. Crisis crested mild. Elder pneumonia wave. Harper's team triaging tents erected on lawn. Nights blurred, IVs hung, lungs listened, but Riley anchored. Soup simmered, feet rubbed. Love's light antiseptic. November's gratitude circle at group. Shared harvests, literal and lit. Harper's. Riley. Willow. Wholeness. Evelyn's. Harper's grace. Chain closed with cheers, potluck deviled eggs devoured. Thanksgiving sprawled epic. Hargrove home, tables trestled end to end, kinships knit. Tom carved mountains, Lily's toasts giggled. Ethan's mermaid's table decor. Caroline's contribution. Bourbon balls potent. Delia blushing at compliments. Walks post-feast. Harper and Riley strayed woods edge, frost nipping. Year's end. Riley mused, breath clouding. New dawn. Harper's arm tugged close, path shared. December wreathed in holly. Tree taller, ornaments multiplied. Preemie handprint, mural shard. Ethan's mermaid shell. Caroling spontaneous. Group traipsing streets, voices off-key but heartfelt, hot cocoa steaming. Christmas Eve, church not pews but riverside. Blankets spread, lanterns lit, stories swapped of births miraculous. Harper read Luke's soft, Riley harmonizing hymns, stars witnesses. Gifts intimate. Riley's for Harper, leather journal emboss wildflowers. For next chapters. Harper's. Clay pendant twin vines now bearing fruit. Our growth. Boxing Day hike, snow scarce but air sharp, summit picnic. Cheeses crumbly, bread warm. Future. Riley prompted, grape popped. Clinic expand, art retreats maybe. You and me always. Riley's yes. Forehead to forehead, lights vow. January renewed resolutions. Joint yoga certification. Harper's flexibility mirroring hearts. Clinics Wing thrived, grand screening. Telehealth for rural kin, art integrated. Valentine's ventured. Pottery weekend Asheville, wheels spinning clay kisses. Nights entangled, mountains cradling cries of completion. Bodies exalted, renewal's rapture. Spring's light lengthened. Mural tours for schools, lily guiding, dragon lore legend. Harper's rounds lighter, patience partners. Mr. Voss weekly check-ins, gruff jokes thawing. Equinox picnic. Full circle under mural, baskets unpacked, group gathered. Toasts to light. After dark always. Summer beckoned, solstice nearing. Mill jam planned, grand fiddles summoned. Harper and Riley rehearsed duo. Guitar and voice, original ballad. Wildflower heart. Lyrics of cracks blooming love. Rehearsal porch, Riley strumming. Harper's alto tentative then true. From shadow soil we rise entwined. Performance night. Crowd hushed then roaring. Hands held across fire pit. Evelyn's hug post song. Lightbringers. Lily's whisper. My heroes. Afterglow river. Bare feet dangling, water lapping. Our light. Harper echoed, Riley's head pillowed on thigh. Brightest. Riley affirmed, stars mirroring. Years blurred forward in light's wake. Clinic beacon, art legacy. Galleries Boston bound. Clara's library donating volumes. Weddings woven. Evelyn's vow renewal, Caroline Delia's courthouse simple. Harper Riley's under dogwood. Rings clay forged. Vows wildflower petals scattered. Children came chosen. Foster girl 10 with sketches shy. Lily's echo blooming under guidance. Boy later. Preemie survivor. Dragon mobile overhead. Town transformed. Ally flags fluttering, Maine murals multiplying. Hospitals to halls, stories shared. Harper gray threading curls still sketched dawn wildflowers. Riley's hand guiding arthritic one. Eternal bloom, she murmured. Riley's kiss. Our light endures. In twilight porches fireflies danced. Light after dark forever.